I'm going to be talking about some of the interest behind the GE American Chestnut. Researchers and backers of the GE American Chestnut like to portray themselves as working in the public interest, but a look at their own reports and tax documents, and I've looked at these extensively, reveals years of corporate backing for the research, which begs the question, who ultimately benefits if the GE chestnut is deregulated? Besides biotech companies that benefit from its PR value as an iconic tree, there are timber, paper, and biomass companies that want to open the door to large-scale plantations of industrial GE trees like eucalyptus, poplar, and pine. These industrial GE trees have faced overwhelming opposition by entities like the UN, forest certification schemes, NGOs, scientists, and the public. So industry needed an iconic tree as the emblem for their renewed campaign to win over the public and open the door to industrial GE trees, and they picked the American chestnut. The SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry's American Chestnut Research and Restoration Project is leading the effort to genetically engineer the American chestnut tree. While they paint themselves as uninfluenced by corporate interests, they receive funding from companies and institutions with vested interests in advancing public acceptance of GE trees and biotechnology. This includes Monsanto, Duke Energy, ArborGen, timber multinationals, and others. And these groups together provided SUNY ESF with 40% of their GE chestnut research funding between 2008 and 2017, which are the annual reports that are available online. The general public during the same period provided 3%. Even Bill Powell, the researcher leading the work on the American chestnut, discusses the tree's useful role during a planting at the New York Botanical Garden. The New York Botanical Garden test planting of a GE American chestnut is being established to meet several objectives, including incredible public education opportunities for SUNY ESF's American Chestnut Research and Restoration Project, the American Chestnut Foundation, and transgenic plants in general. In addition to ArborGen, next slide. In addition to ArborGen providing $500,000 to SUNY ESF, ArborGen's Chief Technology Officer, Maud Hinchey, worked closely with the project to offer technical support. As a result, one of the SUNY ESF lines of GE chestnuts is called the Hinchey 1. Next slide. Monsanto has also provided in-kind and monetary donations, including helping SUNY ESF prepare for the federal review process to deregulate the GE chestnut. Both ArborGen and Monsanto will benefit if the GE American chestnut is deregulated. Next slide. The American Chestnut Foundation gave SUNY ESF grants of $500,000 between 2015 and 2017, dwarfing their contributions to any of their other chapters or research. In addition, the New York chapter of TACF provided $650,000 to Powell's research between 2008 and 2015. The source of those funds is not disclosed. According to their annual reports, however, TACF has dozens of corporate funders, sponsors, and partners, including ArborGen, Monsanto, Midwest-Vaco, Duke Energy, DuPont, and many, many others. Another major promoter of the GE chestnut is the Forest Health Initiative, which was founded by Duke Energy, the U.S. Endowment for Forestry and Communities, and the U.S. Forest Service. It is a collaborative effort to advance the role of biotechnology to address forest health challenges. The initiative will initially focus on a test species and an icon of eastern U.S. forests, the American chestnut. According to the American Chestnut Foundation's Science Committee, the Forest Health Initiative proposes to use the American chestnut as a, quote, poster child for genetic modification. Next slide. The initiative is staffed and managed by the Institute of Forest Biosciences, whose partners include SUNY ESF and ArborGen, as well as International Paper and Midwest-Vaco, Futurigene, Weyerhaeuser, and Fibria, all of whom are pursuing GE trees in the US and/or Brazil. The Forest Health Initiative provided more than 30% of the funding for ESF's GE chestnut research between 2008 and 2017, 10 times what they received over this period from the general public. The corporate backing for research into GE trees, next slide please, is a major reason for the overwhelming and passionate opposition by the public in the US and globally, starting in 1999, when a field trial of GE trees outside London was cut down. Next slide. Since 1999, countless actions have targeted industry conferences, government agencies, and GE tree research, including field trials in greenhouses in the US, Belgium, Canada, Brazil, and New Zealand. Hundreds of thousands have called for a ban on GE trees, and the UN Convention on Biological Diversity, as well as the Forest Stewardship Council and other forest certification schemes have called for the precautionary approach with regard to GE trees. In response, the GE chestnut and biotechnology companies generally the GE chestnut and biotechnology generally are being promoted as the salvation to the problems faced by our forests as a way to undermine this vast public opposition. But the public has been clear. They will not stand by while GE trees are rushed to the market for the benefit of corporations, imparting yet more risks to our already beleaguered forests. Thank you.